part of the reason why there were these series of major airstrikes on Rafah over the past week, and why you had Smotrich tweeting out the call for war, you had Ben Gvir saying we need to have war, was because of a security incident which occurred pretty far back in Israeli-controlled territory. Israel blamed this on the Palestinians. I think this was a false flag. I think that this maybe was some sort of an IDF accident. Maybe they had placed an IED somewhere, they forgot about it, and boom, they had a mistake. And then they blamed it on the Palestinians to, first of all, cover up the fact that their own incompetence led to a loss of life in the IDF once more, but also so they could justify further strikes on the Palestinian people in Rafah. Ryan Grimm did an interesting and detailed breakdown of exactly what took place here, so take a listen to this.
We've got a map here of the site in question, so walk us through your observations.
Yeah, so on Sunday, the IDF reported that there had been an RPG attack right here if you look at the screen there, at what used to be the Rafah airport. It's still called the Rafah airport. It hasn't operated in some time now. They also said that some snipers had come out, that the IDF was trying to clear a tunnel, and that some fighters may have been hiding out in this tunnel. But what's important for people to understand when they look at this map here is look how far behind enemy lines this Rafah airport is. So you have IDF positions right nearby. You have absolute moonscape rubble as far as the eye can see. And you don't have a tunnel network that connects to the rest of Gaza from there. So there are two possibilities here if the IDF story is accurate. Either some Hamas fighters managed to somehow sneak through this rubble for many kilometers, get behind the enemy lines, and then launch an ambush, or that just days after agreeing to a ceasefire, or they've been hiding out in this tunnel for 8 months at this point, because the IDF has controlled this area for roughly 8 months at this point. How they would be provisioned, food and water. So those are the two credible possibilities. Now, what I was told by a source familiar with this situation is that shortly after this happened, the Americans had intelligence that what happened was that a bulldozer that was operated by a kind of settler company that is destroying homes in Rafah, the homes that remain standing, had run over either unexploded ordnance or some type of improvised explosive device that had not detonated during the fighting that had taken place in Rafah many months ago, and that the United States then relayed to Israel that they had this intel, that this is what had happened, that we know there's enormous amount, there are IEDs and there's enormous amount of unexploded ordnance from shell